And I guess my main concern with Overwatch is, when did we go from this depth and this nuance in the gameplay, right, where we have this system of, you know, they do this and I can do this, and we went from that to almost like a rock, paper, scissors, like I have a spreadsheet open of the counters, I pick this, therefore I win, right? Like, here's a couple examples. Like, if there is a Masters, High Masters / GM Brigida on the other team, and you're a professional level Overwatch League Tracer player, you're probably going to swap, or else you're kind of throwing. And it's not, you could dodge all the stuns in the world by the Brigida, right? You can not get hit, you can get some decent pulse bombs off, you can try and stay out of her range, all this stuff, but the nature of it is, just by that Brigida existing, her passive armor that she gives via her heal, her passive aura health, how tanky she is, just the threat and the nuisance that she can zone you out, she counters you just by existing. And, you know, on the other side of that, let's look at before Brigida was added into the game for high-level players. If you didn't have a Tracer at a high level, you lost. That's why we had dive meta for a year and a half, right? And so we sort of have always had this problem in Overwatch, but maybe it's just a bit more prevalent today. And so I would like to compare that scenario to what I consider the best interaction in Overwatch, which is Pharah versus Hitscan. Like, let's say there's a Pharah on the other team. You have so many options, right? You got like, what? Soldier, McCree, Ana, Zen, if the Zen can hit their shots, D.Va, Widowmaker, soon to be Ashe. There's many counters to the Pharah, right? But it's not like just by existing, the Pharah can't do anything. Like, I played Pharah in Overwatch League, right? So even versus her hardest counter, which would be Widowmaker, there's a lot of counterplay. Like, I can choose routes to play, I can choose angles to play, I can, like, even though it's not optimal, I know how to play it, because there's a lot of depth to that interaction between the two counters, right? And so I consider that sort of to be the heart and soul of Overwatch in a lot of ways, where that's the depth of the game to me. And when you start implementing these hard counters into the game, it removes that nuance, and it really degenerates the game into, I pick this, therefore you have to swap or I win. And it really isn't about the gameplay anymore. And I don't want to do that. I want to play Overwatch, right? And, you know, this video is about, well, let's go one step further beyond just the gameplay, right? So why is this bad for a typical ladder experience? Well, let's put it this way. If my teammate picks a hero that I think is hard countered by one on the other team, suddenly I feel powerless. I feel that we're going to lose no matter what we do, because we're at a severe disadvantage even before we even get to play the game. I'm no longer looking at the gameplay. I'm just looking at what heroes my team are picking and choosing. Like, let's say we have a Tracer and they swap to Brigida. Now I'm going to stare at my Tracer and be like, hey, can you swap, or otherwise we're going to lose. And that's just how it is. It promotes toxicity towards your teammates because it makes you feel powerless. And that powerlessness makes you feel frustrated. And that frustration is pointed towards the people who are on your side. And I feel like I have to, a lot of the time, just fill out this checklist of, hey, do we have a hero composition that is viable at all towards the enemy's counters? Yes or no? And I have to go in like this, in this little form. And once we finally fill it out and we click all the boxes, then we finally get to the gameplay aspect, right? We finally get to go have some fun. And it goes beyond just simple hero interactions too, because in the current meta, you know, we're talking about deathball meta, right? Triple tank, triple support, otherwise known as GOATs. Let's say the other team goes triple tank, triple support. You don't mirror, you don't have a Somber Doomfist, GG, it's over. Because it's just how the meta is right now for solo queue. And, well, obviously it's not every game, but I would say the vast majority of the time you will lose. But, you know, having a severe disadvantage on hero select, that's not a fun or deep gameplay to me. That's just frustrating. And it's exacerbated by another aspect of the game, which is no stats. Let's say one of my teammates picks one of those hard counter heroes, right? And I don't know if they're performing well or not, but I know typically they wouldn't. And it's not like I have access to a scoreboard to see if they are performing well. So of course, even they could be even performing well, and I'm probably going to blame them if we start losing, right? how many times does this happen in Overwatch where someone picks a slightly off meta hero and they get blamed for it even though they're performing well? Because you don't have enough information. We're all a little bit blind. And the only way to know a lot of the time is to play the game in absolute crap ton. And a lot of people don't. And it's just, there's just a lot of different factors that come down to this counterplay issue, this hard counter issue that I think make the toxicity more rampant in a solo queue environment. And it just makes the game a little bit too frustrating. And this frustration that I find isn't just in the hard counters and the interaction between the heroes themselves, but also in the design of the heroes. I mean, just look at it this way, guys. There's been, 7 if you count Ashe, but Ashe hasn't hit ranks. Well, let's just ignore Ashe for now. There have been 6 heroes added since Ana was released in late 2016. So just about just over 2 years, right? So these heroes are Sombra, Orisa, Doomfist, Moira, Brigitte, Hammond. These are characters that are not traditional FPS characters. Almost every single hero that has been added has CC that you can't easily counterplay, or they take your ability away to counterplay. And, when Overwatch first released, when we saw Ana, that's the direction a lot of people thought the new hero releases were going to go. And it's not what we expected to move into a lot of these CC non-FPS characters. And a lot of people talk about CC in Overwatch, and I do agree it is an issue. But I think the more fundamental issue behind these characters is you typically have to rely on teammates in order to save you from them. Let's just ignore the CC aspect. I mean, let's say Hammond comes in, he swings in and he slams on you, and you're a 200 HP squishy hero. If you don't get saved by a teammate, you're just instantly dead. Doomfist walks over, or Doomfist on high ground, right? And you have to push through a choke and you have that Doomfist on high ground. He's going to slam in, he's going to one-shot you. What do? Let's say the Doomfist presses Q, and you're just a general 200 HP Ana, or a Zen, or a Lucio, or just any generic 200 HP hero, you're just dead, right? Let's say, just look at Sombra. Sombra is a character, 0.65 second cast time, 6 second duration, silence / hack duration. That's insane, right? And if any of these characters, like if she gets that hack on you, you need a teammate, you need to be saved by your entire teammate or you're dead. And so
it seems like a big shitpost. Like I see people walking around with like waifu pillows and shit. What's up with that? And, like this one person walked in their room, like walked into some dude's room, and it was literally just like full of nothing but the walls, the floor, everything was just anime girls. It's like Roblox where you can slap whatever you want on the market. Take my fan-made item and please make sure I get no money for the time and effort I put in. I want you to instead, Stolen. That's probably not. Big on Smash Bros.